Good evening. My name is George Okwaro, and I want to discuss something about facility layout planning. So, facility layout planning is simply the arrangement of machinery and equipment and other industrial facilities, say in an industry. So, the main objective of facility layout planning should be to ensure the main objective is to ensure production at least costs, focus on time and costs, and also location of facilities in an industry to save time. So the location of the equipment in the industry should be arranged in a manner that there is time saving whenever production is taking place. So the objectives of a good layout, say the objectives of a good facility layout are minimizing material handling costs, minimizing the material handling costs. A good layout should minimize the material handling costs in an industrial setting, and another objective is also to minimize the movement of material and people, minimizing the movement of material and people within the industry, so that it is safe to work and to create good working conditions for the workers. So, for example, when there's a lot of movement of people in the industry and production is taking place, there might be an accident, or somebody might get hurt, or the materials being produced may not be produced well due to distractions. You see, so you should minimize the movement of material and people in order to reduce the risks of hazards and accidents. Another objective is to improve the production capacity, of the industry. Another objective is to increase, say, the morale of the employees. Yeah, when there is a good layout, when the facilities are planned well in an industry, they bring up that good working environment for the workers. So they get motivated for good working in a good environment. So the morale of working is high. Yeah, another objective is to make sure you create a comfortable working environment for the workers. Yeah, that is ensuring minimum movement and etc. Also, there should be better supervision and monitoring. A good facility layout should be able to provide a better supervision and monitoring. Like, for example, they can be, say, in an industry, the setting of the equipments and the operations, the cycle of events in the industry can be supervised by one person who is, for example, let's say it's a hall, the equipments are arranged this side, so there can be a section for the supervisor where he just sits and supervises the whole industry and the all workings at the same time. Yeah, so it is easy for good supervision in the industry and good productivity of the industrial material, or the material being produced in the industry. Yeah, so let's look at the factors to consider when deciding on a good layout, because facility planning layout, let's say facility planning should entail a lot. When you want to decide on facility planning, you should look at various factors, so that the product, so that it did not affect the productivity of the product production, and it should not affect the functioning of the industry, and you should not, say, the worker should not be harmed, so the worker should be safe at all time of working and every time. So factors to be considered when deciding on a layout or a facility layout plan. Say, one, we can look at the type of the material being handled in the industry, the type of the material being handled in the industry should be considered so that the plan, so that good decision making is done. Another factor is the type of product being produced in the industry. The type of product should also be considered so that the planning or the layout of the facilities should match the cycle of the product being produced. Say the manpower requirement, whether skilled or unskilled. So it should be considered so that we should know the kind of manpower to employ. Of course, you should employ the skilled manpower in the industry. So you should be able to know how many to consider, so that you know how to plan your facilities in the industry, so that there's no congestion, in the industry when working is going place. When the industry is congested, there can be a lot of accidents, and that is something we are trying to avoid here. So you should at least check on that. Also, you should check on the location of the industry, the managerial policies, and the type of industry. You should consider the type of industry you want to come up with, so that you should know how to come up with their facility layout plan. Yeah, so let's look at the principles or the key aspects of facility layout planning. Yeah. So you should decide on the sequence of operation. Like, say, you should decide the sequence of operation in order for them to favor the product being produced in the industry. They should be optimized. So you should decide on the optimizing of the sequence of the operation in the industry. Get what I'm saying? So decide on the sequence operations. Also decide on the uses and flexibility of the space as well as the equipments. You should allocate different spaces for different processes, and different equipments, so that let's say if the different workers are supposed to share an equipment, like the cycles of the production or the sequence of the operation should favor the production but not the workers, whereby the production is done first. Here you consider, like, the equipment. If they want to share the equipment, for example, the workers should use the equipment first to do their work, then they finish, the others take it. You get what I'm saying? So decide on the uses and flexibility of the space as well as the equipment. Also, safety and satisfaction of the employees. You should also check on the safety and satisfaction of the employees. The employees working for you should be very safe at first. They should be safe and free from any hazards, and their health, and they should also be satisfied, so that the working is maximum, so that the production is maximum. If they're not satisfied, they might end up being absent, not coming to work. That will delay the production, and it will affect the industrial operations, when producing their products. So another principle is to minimize travel of personnel as well as the equipments. That one is a very key aspect when laying out facilities in the industry. You should minimize travel of personnel as well as the equipments. It is very important because it reduces hazards and any form of accidents in the industry. Like, for example, when you reduce the movements of the machines, it is easy for the workers to work at the stations, and avoid movement. They can end up getting an accident in the industry, so we should avoid that. Yeah. So let's look at the importance of a good layout. One importance is to help to achieve the economies in handling. Help to achieve the economies in handling. Help in the effective use of the available area for the construction of the industry. Yeah, so it should help in the effective use of the available area. It should also help in the minimizing of the production delays. Help in the minimizing of the production delays. You should ensure that when you want to select your facility layout plan, it should minimize the production delays of the product so that the product is produced consistently. Also it should also help exercise our quality control, like your quality control when you want to your industry, the quality control of your industry. It should also better production control and also better supervision. Yeah, like for example, when I was saying the supervisor is just at one place with mirrors, or his section is one place where he can view all operations that are taking place. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so we have different types of layouts where we have product layouts, fixed position layouts, service facility layouts, and process layouts. So that is all under key aspects of facility layout planning. You should ensure that your facility layout match your production. Your facility layout should be comfortable for the workers, and there should not be accidents at all costs. And this will be safe, and the production will be